We start 9 News at 5 with the latest on the new variant of the COVID virus. The state health department is closely watching for signs of the new Omicron variant. That includes scanning wastewater of several local areas, and those tests found signs of the variant in the wastewater of Boulder County.
We're unable to quantify how many cases that detection in the Boulder municipal wastewater system represents, but we believe it's likely more than one case, probably some low level of community transmission. And so our recommendation to Boulder residents and to all Coloradans is to keep doing the things that you have been doing. Get vaccinated, get boosted, wear a mask, preferably a surgical or medical grade mask, limit gatherings, and physically distance.
There have been only 2 cases of the Omicron variant found so far in Colorado. Both were in travelers who had been to southern Africa. The variant has also been found in 18 other states.
You just heard from the state epidemiologist, Dr. Rachel Herlihy. She says Colorado is doing more genetic testing of COVID cases than most states. Colorado actually is taking a much closer look at about 15% of all the positive cases. Oklahoma, meanwhile, has the lowest rate, testing only about 1%. And while the focus is now on Omicron, Delta is still to blame for more than 1,400 people in hospitals across our state. Dr. Herlihy talked about the uncertainty around the trends and the wave that we've seen in the recent months.
Increase in hospitalizations that we've seen in the last couple of days. So that's a trend that I'm watching very closely. I think it's difficult to know right now if this is a short-term trend that we have seen similarly after other holidays, if we might potentially see this increase occur for a few days, representing increased gathering, changes in contacts that occurred over the Thanksgiving holiday. You might notice that our cases bounced up a little bit as well. But otherwise, we really don't know for certain what might be happening. We're certainly hoping that the numbers will turn a corner and go back down again. That's what we'll be paying attention for and watching closely over the next couple of days.
And Governor Polis also said today that there's no clear pattern right now to the COVID situation in our state. He said there was hope that we had seen the peak of the latest wave, but now it's really tough to figure out where the trends are going. Case rates are starting to rise in other states, mostly through the Midwest and the East Coast. The focus right now is getting people vaccinated and boosted. The governor pointed out that more than 41% of eligible adults in Colorado have received their booster shot so far. More clinics are being set up across the state. To get that information and get links to register, just look for the story on 9news.com.
Well, here in Colorado and across the country, health leaders continue to also keep a very close watch on the Delta variant. That is still the dominant strain. The average daily death toll is up to more than 1,150 people a day in the United States, which is up 57% from last week. Now, at that pace, we're only about a week away from having the number of deaths in the United States from COVID reach 800,000. During today's update from the state, we heard that more information is expected over the next week as to how vaccines protect against the Omicron variant. And Dr. Fauci said that some of the data could be ready by the middle of next week. But late this afternoon, we started to get some of the early details, and preliminary reports show that its vaccine may be less effective. The reports from the Africa Health Research Institute found that Omicron was more skilled at evading antibodies generated by the vaccine. Pfizer expects their own data tomorrow or Thursday.
A federal judge in Georgia has blocked part of President Biden's vaccine mandate. The ruling means that mandates for contractors, certain healthcare workers, and employees of larger companies are frozen across the country. The mandate had been blocked in Kentucky, Ohio, and Tennessee after an order was issued in a separate case. The judge today made that ruling national, saying a limited ruling covering only certain states would only cause more confusion.